Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Jimmy Palumbo Show. That's right, show number 232. And I am banged up today, injuring my neck last week into this week. And behind the glass, a healthy Dave Sturcio. Dave, how are we doing today?
Yeah, define healthy. I'm emotionally a wreck today. I haven't ugly cried like that in a long time. Dropped off Miles. I mean, Stella was easy. My daughter was easy. She walked around, too cool for school. Don't even like, hey, see you later, mom, dad. Later. But I dropped off Miles, and his lips started to quiver.
Yeah.
Dad threw his shades on real quick and just booked into the car. And I was like, I gotta go. I can't do this right now.
I remember when Natalie, we put her in pre-K 3 or something like that, and they allowed us to walk into this area. It was a Catholic school, and we were all working. And Natalie was like, like everything was cool. She's just like hanging out with my mother and father, kids all around, someone's birthday party almost. And then all of a sudden, like the teacher started to say, "Okay, everyone settle down," and they were like telling his parents you can leave. And then all of a sudden, Natalie realized, hey, wait a minute.
She wanted to talk it over.
Yeah, my two offensive linemen are walking off the,
it was rough.
It's rough. That is hard.
He was fine. He was excited. He was all, good to go. And then like when he started to turn around and realize we weren't going to be there with him, like the lips are like,
yeah.
And I was like, oh no, you can't do that, buddy. you can't do that.
I was ready to just yank her out, but the teacher goes, "Just go, we got it."
Right.
And you have to just turn your back and walk out, and then you're like, we sat in the parking lot for like 20 minutes waiting for the phone call. Like, we're so sorry, your child is very different. Get out of here. But that's it. But every year, even as they get older, it's weird. One year, I think it was first. We got into a rhythm just like Stella is, and all of a sudden, so we were like, Natalie's got this. And all of a sudden, I think it was third grade or second grade. We dropped her off, and all of a sudden, like she wasn't having it, and we were like, I was like, Nat, this is your fourth year doing this. Like you can't go down now. Like we didn't plan. And she literally, we had to like talk it over. We called a timeout, and we got her back in the game, and she was good to go. But I dropped off my daughter today as well to Ramsey High. She's a junior, and I can't believe that.
Your daughter's an upperclassman.
Upperclassman now. She was dressed really nice. She looked adorable, and she got out of the car. See you guys later. It came over now. They no longer need the kids. Well, listen, it's a rite of passion. First day of school. It is what it is. It's time. We took the picture, the whole bit. We got one of those things where it says first grade, second grade.
Oh, yeah.
And we're up to 11th grade. There's only one left, 12th grade. Of course.
I said to Stella, she switched her favorite color to and she's like, my new favorite color is orange. And I'm like, orange. And I was like, are you sure? Are you just bored? Like, what do you like? And the next. It's like, okay, fine. We'll go with the next.
Well, that's right. The orange. That's good, I guess, as long as she doesn't go to Syracuse, the orange one. Which, of course, listen, this is show number 232. It's a big one. First guy I think of is Elston Howard, Ellie Howard, longtime coach of the New York Yankees. He coached and played for 25 years. Also, Ralph Houck, that's for Venditti. Now, the Giants, I looked up 32, right? There's only 3 guys. And the last guy was 1941. And I was like, wait a minute, something's not right here. Turns out there was a guy named Al, and if I'm blowing the name, I don't know. His name was Al Blozis, Blozis. His number is retired by the Giants, so they don't have that many retired. He played 3 seasons right before the war. Went to the war in France. It was killed in France. He just made the Pro Bowl. He was one of the better players. Also Olympic athlete. This guy was all world for the 40s. And he got killed in action. So the Giants just retired his number, 32. So good old Al. Shout out to Al. If any of the family, any of the great-great-grandchildren are listening. Who knows if we even had any great-grandchildren, I guess. But also you got Dennis Thurman, old cowboy. That's for your dad. And then you got, 32, Marcus Allen, they got OJ the murderer, you got Otis Anderson with 2 T's, one of my favorite Giants. And of course, my favorite electric football player is Emerson Boozer. we had the Jets on electric football, and we used to call him the Boozer. which anybody, again, that material is for 8 people, none of which are listening. Jim Brown, Franco Harris. My brother was telling me his name was Franco Harris, but when he first
it
got in
took
the
me a long
league,
time to realize that too.
well, when he first got in the league, people thought a lot of people listened to games on the radio back then. Everybody thought it was Frank O'Harris, so
Right.
a white guy, and I believe he was he's half Italian, which is funny. Then he got Rutgers star Devin McCourty, Jack Pardee, player and a coach, which Venditti definitely drove off the road, and of course Magic Johnson. And there's like a million others, but 32 is just
32 for whatever reason for me, and maybe it's just like how much I hated the 49ers growing up because of the rivalries in the 90s.
Waters,
Ricky Waters, yeah,
Ricky Waters. I was going to say him.
Played for not only the Niners but the Eagles too. So it's game week now.
That many Cowboys at 32 as I thought.
Orlando Scandrick, I believe, would last.
Yeah, 32. But I mean, come on, that's there's no. I thought you figured the number 32 Cowboys would be a legend. Not really. Not really. Not anybody.
Cliff Harris. I'm wrong on that. I'm probably wrong on that.
Yeah, I think you're wrong on that. I would have put Cliff Harrison.
My father just drove off the road.
Yeah, you go. Cliff Harris got to get. Who's the other guy? Charlie Waters.
Charlie Waters. Yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe it was Ricky Waters. I got the Charlie Waters thing all mixed up.
You know what Charlie Waters is famous for? Just getting beat every big game. If I ever met him in person, he's probably dead now. But if he's not, I'm like, hey, Charlie, listen, how come every time I watch NFL film Super Bowl, I see your number with your name and there's a Steeler ahead of you in the end zone? But he was supposedly a pretty good player. I'm busting his balls a little bit. So that's it. Yeah, show number 232. And of course, now this is the ultimate. Now I catch shit for doing this segment. But 43. You know what? I think Charlie Waters was 43 too. Someone, Tyson, look that up. More on Tyson.
Executive producer Tyson Hogan.
Well, first, before I go into the baseball segment, I have to give a shout out. Let me raise this up a little bit so I got to give a shout out to a young Diana Hogan, who is the mom of Tyson Hogan. And she, of course, is going to be talked about when it comes to
that whole family, dude.
When it comes to the Patreon section, but also it is her birthday. So happy birthday to Tyson Hogan's mom. Now, we'll get to that in a second. This guy, this is 41. There you go, Tyson. I got to Venmo him on Fridays now. The Jimmy Palumbo is just leaking money here at Shea. Your salary couldn't drip out. The best line ever from the Honeymooners. This guy here, everybody's favorite. His name is Dave Palmer. Okay.
Why does that name sound familiar?
Jim Palmer was.
That's what it was. This is Jim Palmer.
I thought maybe it was his younger brother. It's not.
Who was the one in Married with Children? Wasn't there like a main character, a baseball player? Or am I wrong on that?
I don't know.
With Ed O'Neill? No.
Dave Palmer played from 78 to 89, 10 years in the bigs. He's 67 years old. He was a feisty righty pitcher, 64 and 59 with a 3.78 ERA, which means he'd be the third starter on every team. Started 176 games, mostly with the Expos, then Atlanta, Philly, and Detroit. I was shocked because he wasn't traded for cash, players, nothing, just granted free agency, which means he got cut. His best year was probably 79, when he was 10-2 with a 2.64 ERA. One of the two things, again, that I giggle at when I do this stupid segment, which makes only me laugh, he's famous for, he went 5 innings pitching a perfect game, but it rained and the game got rained out. So he won the game, but Major League Baseball decided to not call it a perfect game.
Oh, it's not a perfect game.
I know, but
it is, but it isn't,
But they had a rule on it, like later. It wasn't like official at the time. Imagine you face 15 batters at rain.
Imagine he goes to his grandkids, like, yeah, your granddad pitched a perfect game. Oh, really? Like, yeah, 5 innings, but it was a perfect game.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I'd have been doing? Like the umpires, like I would have said, we're waiting another hour. We are waiting another hour.
I got my good stuff today.
And it friggin' rains. Oh, yeah. My God. He's also famous as a blooper. I've seen it before. I think it's on YouTube somewhere. He's rounding third. He trips on the bag and falls on his face. It's really bad. And that was Dave Palmer. Other than that, he's got nothing. He coached high school. So he made decent money, though. Like $400,000 or $500,000 a year between 78 and 89. That was decent money. And he coaches high school and he's retired. He's got like 2 kids and he's married. He named his son's nickname is Chili or Chillin'. And that is the perfect baseball card segment because no one cares about this young fella.
I know one person who cares.
Johnny
Machad.
Machad. She'll get mad at this segment. Anyway, that's the baseball card. Now, of course, Patreon, we now have 54. We picked up an Andy Hedden. Then he's on way off the road.
Picked up an Aroldis Chapman.
There you go. Who signed with the Red Sox for like another $13 million. He's a bum, but he's not a bum. What a weird career.
Of course, the last time I saw him, he was smoking us. So.
I know. And plus, he won it with the Cubs. He won it with the Yankees. He's all over the place. But a shout out to Diana Hogan, mom of Tyson 54. It's all about the Hogans. We got to do some kind of Hogan's hero thing going on here. Thank you very much, the Tyson Hogan family, for all your support. And the ageless Diana. What we got here?
Randy White. I like that, Johnny Box.
Johnny
Box later on today, man. We got Jesse Holly on the podcast on the Jersey Boy, so I'm very excited about that. Jersey Boy. He is actually a Jersey boy. So
Randy White is a
no. I said Jesse Holly. We're bringing him on.
I'm thinking Randy White on the Cowboys.
Randy White was 54, but he's not a Jersey guy, I don't think.
No. I thought, isn't there a wrestler named Randy White or something like that? Or one of those Randy, I don't know. What the hell do I know about wrestling? I know nothing. But of course, a shout out to Robin Achani, Joe Sinecor, and James Kanowitz, the website guy here at Shea. And, of course, the one thing, when it's time, when your body feels like shit, Dave, sometimes you need shit your body needs.
And you need to put the patches all over yourself now.
They're all on my side. I took them off. I got 3 more hours. I got to put them back on. My voice is craggly. I don't know what's going on. I'm a mess here at Shea. But I'll go 5 2/3, get you the win. ChasingMiracles.com, stem cell patches. They also sell this stuff called Trim, which I got to get to you. Maybe I'll see you on Saturday. It's all kinds of stuff for your body, all kinds of new age stuff.
Saturday, I'll be at the Yankee game, actually.
You're not going to go see the Scarlet Knights, but that's okay. Just blow me off again. Actually, I don't even know if I have an extra ticket because my daughter may be bringing a friend.
You know what, though? The more you say, like, stuff around the tickets area, right? Like, I don't know if there's an extra ticket. Just based off the crowd that I saw the other day, there's always an extra ticket somewhere.
For sure. Well, I always
depends on where I sit, but like
but all you got to do if just sit with no one. You know how we sit. If you just bought a ticket for $25,
that's basically So going forward, I'm just like, you can get like I'll receive every free ticket known to man. But
yes,
if ever in a pinch,
well, we always have. I think it all depends how well they go on. But go to ChasingMiracles.com. Shit your body needs here. Stem cell patches, repair cells, no needles. I need it heavily on my neck and shoulder here. I might have a pinched nerve, which is knocking me out of my first fall league softball game tomorrow. I am listed as very doubtful.
Wow.
No way I can play.
Must be bad.
Yeah, for me, that's me and my brother used to have a rule. Whenever we got injured, the joke was, could you play softball right now if you had to? And like, most of the time, my brother goes, yeah, I can play. But one time my brother got hurt. I go, Frank, could you play softball? He's like, no, I'm out. So when Jimmy Palumbo misses a softball game, he's banged up. Of course, I got to give a shout out. This is a weird one. We have a local bar in town, Brady's. It's a regular standard Irish pub. It's right in the middle of town. The owner of the place is great. He's a great Irish owner. And there's a bartender in there named Steve. And he's your classic, like, Irish-looking Pearl River guy, bartending there since it opened. Jet fan, Met fan, you know the type. Friendly, knows your name, disgusted with the Jets and Mets all the time. I saw him about 3 weeks ago. I thought he lost some weight. He looked pretty good. It turns out he had pancreatic cancer, and he passed away a couple days ago.
Oh, man.
One of those guys, I'm not in there. I mean, I'm in there maybe once every 2 weeks or something, you stop in. But he always had a smile, knew my name, knew me from beer league. Always a good ear. And I was like shocked. I'm like, I can't believe this guy's gone. So a shout out to Steve, the bartender over at Brady's in Ramsey, New Jersey. Well, last week we did the show Wednesday, And then, of course, we went to the Rutgers game on Thursday. People are, I don't know how I feel about last week's game. I do know this. We only won by 3. I think Ohio is a decent team, well coached, with a pretty good quarterback, and that proved. But I think, and I've read top quarterbacks in college. I watched a lot of college football this weekend, and you know what thought came up to me? I was like, well, he's not better. This guy couldn't start on our team. Archie Manning ain't starting on Rut. Like, I went through all these quarterbacks I watched, and I was like, North Carolina, every ding dong they threw in the game. And I don't think people realize how good this Rutgers quarterback is for a couple of reasons. This is the 5th game in a row we've scored 30 or more points. And I remember going like, Dave just disappeared on me there.
I'm hearing audio right now. So
all right. I just remember, I think Rutgers went like seasons without scoring. And these were against regular, not against Norfolk State and stuff like that. I thought this quarterback, Rutgers, he's underrated. He was throwing, and you were there with me, Dave. He threw some darts, man.
How many times did I look over you? I mean, we were separated. Sometimes I was on the end, you were in the middle. But like, there was a couple times we looked at each other like NFL pass, like exactly NFL right. pass. And
I feel like when I go on some of these sites, these college sites, everyone's talking about like a million other people, and I'm like, and I made the statement: if this kid was starting on any Big Ten team, their ranking would be the same. So, I watched the Penn State guy a little bit. I'm like, you know what? Oh, guy's good. This guy.
Did they run away with their first game? I don't even know what their score was.
They started off lousy, but then they didn't cover, but they won by like 42 points or something.
You know who's 0-1? The Colorado Buffaloes without Shador.
Without Shador. But you know what? They didn't play that bad, though.
No. I saw some of the highlights. Yeah, they didn't play so bad.
They're all right. Listen, they got talent.
And as far as the Arch Manning stuff, like, it's his first start. 1, 2, it was against the defending champions, so it's like, I'm going to give the guy some grace. I think he's very talented. And I would wait till at least November to start thinking like, okay, is this guy going to be NFL ready or not?
Okay. I'm going the other way.
And this is me who has hated every Manning under the sun, or at least Eli. But
okay. First of all, I'm going to go the other way. And it's not a knock on Arch Manning. Okay. Number one, he couldn't, people are like, oh no, they're holding him. First of all, he's like 38 years old now. Like, he never could. The guy ahead of him, he never had a shot at starting 2 years. Okay, and then people were like, oh, now here comes Arch Manning. He'll start him, and he's going to be Heisman. They're going to be ranked number 1. He didn't have a bad game. He was awful.
Well, that's another thing though. Tyson's bringing it up right now. They panned over to the sidelines, and they're like, and I'm like, there's the defensive coordinator. I'm like, that guy looks crazy familiar. And they're like, that's Matt Patricia. And I was like, what the fuck? Like,
right.
The Ohio State loading up as far as their coaching staff, and they're just,
but you know what?
Oh my God,
Manning, there was a bunch of plays. I don't care what anybody says. Manning had time to throw, and he just.
My dad said that too. He said that he did not.
He had a horrible game. Now, I'm sure he'll be fine, but like this whole Heisman, Texas going to be number 1. Teams like, hey, if we suck next year, we'll get Manning. You are so stupid to think that way. There you go. Well, that's the team. Anyway, but Rutgers, I don't know. Listen, I guess they only beat Ohio by 3. You can make that argument that the Ohio's Ohio. They're not Ohio State, and Rutgers only beat them by 3. But I think Rutgers is going to be able to score on a lot of people, and I think we're going to be in a lot of games. I think we're going to be a team that covers, and we'll see how they do. They're 1-0, supposed to win. They won the game. Nobody cares who you beat. I used to say this about NCAA basketball. Nobody cares you beat Fordham by 2 in late November. You got to get into you got to get into the meat of the schedule, and that's what they do. But Rutgers looked okay on offense, shaky on defense. But I think it's easier. I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but I think it's easier to get your defense aligned than it is your offense. Offense, if you don't have a quarterback and receivers, you can't do anything about that. Where defense, you can blitz more, not blitz, zone. You can do different things to cover your.
I'm more old school. I'm a firm believer that everything starts up front. So as long as your lines are good on both sides, like, you'll be able to be effective. Like, yeah, if you don't have a good quarterback receiver combo, that's going to take some work.
Right.
Defensively, if you're just like, hey, go get the quarterback. If you're an edge rusher like that, that's your goal.
I was a little disappointed in their rush, but then I'm told the quarterback was spinning out. He was that Parker Navarro kid. He's a name you're going to hear come down about. When I say NFL, I don't mean first round. I mean these guys get drafted. Fifth round quarterbacks play all the time in the NFL. But
Easy does it, Joy. Easy does it.
And we got a long way to go. But I think
Joy Sheehan is coming in saying the Super Bowl flag gets raised Thursday.
Yeah, she's Joy's married to my boy Bob, who's a Bears fan, but she's from Philly. She's a Philly chick. Joy, what's up, kiddo? Big Eagles fan, which
I'm sorry.
We are so due. Joy, I love you, but we are the Giants are due. Some giant. Somebody in the front office of the Giants is going through the mail looking for did they send the bill out to the Eagles and Cowboys? Because
what's so funny though?
It's
one thing for the Giants fans to get disgusted with how good Saquon Barkley turned out to be for the Eagles last year, but now they get to relive it because not only they have to raise the banner on Thursday, but the NFL rankings just did their top 100 players, and who comes in at number one? Saquon Barkley.
And what's funny? It's so sad because I like Barkley as a player. He's not a bad guy. He made the right decision. Financially, no, because the money was close. But he went to a team with the best offensive line in football. As my uncle used to say when the Eagles played the Cowboys, jokingly, hey, listen, just root for injuries, which is so wrong. But I would, there is a part of me though. This is horrible. Like I don't want him to be out for the year, but I definitely want to hear. And Barkley is limping. Like can he just be out for 4 games?
It's not that you're rooting for injuries, but like for instance, I was with you on Thursday. I was with you on Thursday when I received the call at 5:00 or the alert.
That was my next.
The only reason why I make a joke of it is because they're saying like, oh, well, looks like Micah Parsons has something wrong with his L5, L6, epidural, all this other shit. And I was like, isn't that something?
First of all,
room for the guy to be hurt by any stretch, but
first of all, Dave and I went to the Rutgers game Thursday with my daughter, and we got there early. And he even made a joke. If something happens with Parsons, now I'm going to be. Next thing you know, Dave disappears from the tailgate. He was yelling at someone. He was calling Chris Gucci.
I called my brother in the order of operations. I called my brother, then my father. My father didn't answer. Then I called Gucci. Right. Gucci basically gave me the whole hey, buddy, almost like, hey, don't jump off any bridges anytime soon. I'm like, no promises. And then I talked to my dad, and he goes, my dad is such a classic Cowboys fan where he's just like, you know what? I saw it coming. I saw it. I'm like, what? Wait, no.
I was like, I walked over to you like, yeah, all right?
Yeah, no, everybody had to check on me. I was double fisting beers at this point because I was just like, I can't do this right now.
And officially, it's 2 first-round picks next year or consecutive years.
Consecutive years.
And a player, and the player's decent, I'm told.
Kenny Clark, defensive tackle, somebody that we can't stop the run for shit. So right. There it is.
Well, you never know. These first-round picks, you can when you get your own pick. It may not be that high of a pick because the Packers look like they're going to be decent, but Jordan Love goes down. The Packers, since Love is down, have not won. The NFL is so weird. You can't. It'll be 2029 before we can discuss whether this is worth it.
Well, that's what I said. A lot of people are like, "How do you feel?" I was like, "Ask me in 2 years when we turn out to find out what these picks turned out to be." Because keep in mind that the last big splash trade like this with an edge rusher was probably Khalil Mack a couple years back. And the Raiders turned that into Josh Jacobs. So these things do pan out, but then they don't. So ask me in a couple of years.
I will say, as my opinion coming from the couch, is I still don't think Parsons ever had a big sack in his life, and I feel the same way about
a lot of people are saying the same thing.
And I also feel the way. There's another guy you're going to laugh, Michael Strahan. If my brother was on the show right now, and I just said his name, Michael Strahan, he'd be going. He had some big plays at the end there in the Super Bowl, but meanwhile, he's got 100 million sacks. He never had 39 from the 47 seconds ago. So game over. No, I feel like Parsons is a compiler with the sacks. Matter of fact, I can't believe how many he has, but I don't watch every game. Listen, he's young. He's a great player, and they made the trade. But let's see how this one pans out. But Rutgers plays Miami of Ohio, second of the 3 Ohio teams we play.
All right, so there, I have to publicly apologize because you did a fantastic. No, listen, this is my fault. My fault because
but I don't.
No. I said that you messed up a line, so we deleted the video. I said, "Man, you're gonna get roasted. We got to delete the video." You didn't. Like I was convinced.
I know. I
was convinced that we played Miami of Ohio the first week, and then we played Ohio. So you're like, next up, Miami of Ohio. I was like, I can't post this shit. Like he's wrong. You know, but he was right. And I was like, oh man.
We're gonna.
That's on me.
You know, it's actually on me as well. I have to. I want to do a bit, which maybe a little shorter next time.
Mm-hmm.
Coming home from the game.
It was a hit for about 10 minutes.
A quick discuss and go from there. So we screwed it up a little bit, but I didn't really talk about it with Dave, what we're going to do. So we screwed that up. But next week, coming back Saturday, I will do something. I may wait till I get home. Maybe that's the way to go.
Yeah, there's a really good, I got a good friend of mine, L Boogie. He's a big Giants fan. Knew him from Big Shots. He's a corrections officer, right? I think he's actually almost retired. But he would do always like the recap. Like he would go to Big Shots, drink all day, watch the game, come home, light up a cigar, and then say like, "Here's the recap."
I think I'm going to wait till I get home and relax and just I can look. You know what it is? I have the box score on me. You want to look at certain things. So we'll try to. I think it's a funny bit to do, especially when they lose because I'll be bitter. But anyway. Miami, Ohio. Now, they played Ohio in the MAC championship last year. Also not a bad team. They played, it was like 7-0 against Wisconsin for a long time. And they finally, I think they lost only 17-0 or something like that. We have an 85% chance of winning according to the Massey ratings, which I'm a big believer in. That compilation thing.
I checked them out last week for the first time. It's thorough. It's like, it's good.
No, that ratings thing, because it goes by listen, there's like 6 big polls. We all know that. But if Dave and I come out with a Jimmy Palumbo Show poll, and we had our own system, like how many beers you have divided by whether it's raining. Some of them are like that. Some of them are like, I go by if the uniform's brighter, they're favored by 3. There's weird stuff like that. But they have like 40 polls or something like that. So put it this way, when you're ranked like 110, you stink. But when you're ranked in the top 10, that means pretty much everybody has you there. So I find it accurate as hell. But listen, Rutgers can lose to anybody. I think we're going to score a lot. I watched a lot of college football. The LSU one, shout out to Darryl Clark there.
They almost got screwed. Like
yes,
bad.
But I also watched the UNC game, man. Between the Jordan and the
Belichick
stars,
aged in dog years.
And the weird thing is, at the end of the game, the backup quarterback came in, and I think Belichick's girlfriend's dating him now. As of this morning, Belichick looked old and like weird.
Like he aged in dog years. Like he almost paid. Like I didn't sign up for this shit.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Let me tell you something. They brought in, and a shout out to Dion. UNC brought in 70 players, dude. Rutgers sometimes brings in like 13 new people, and it's a mess. 70 is pretty much. Did anybody stay? They all left. I mean, it's
that was a complete wipeout job. Yeah, I don't
know. You cannot between December, the last game's December 3rd, and 10 months later have cohesion. I'm guessing they'll be better as time goes on.
Yeah.
But I think their starting quarterback stinks, even though the first drive,
he's a lefty, right? The lefty, did I see that right? Yeah. He threw a bad pick 6, man. I was like, oh, Jesus.
But the first drive, he looked like I'm all world, first round pick right here. And then that was it after that. So UNC got smoked. I think, first of all, the Rutgers quarterback could start on either one of those teams. So I'm telling you, there was tons of games. Me being it again. Listen to my fans out there. I'm the guy sitting. I have my NFL stinks list, which we're going to get to. I'm the guy sitting there. It takes me 4 minutes. And I'm like, our guy's better than this. I look at the stats. I look at everything. That's because so many of my teams have stunk over the years. I'm programmed for shit. That's what it is. And also, so I went to a wedding. I forget who I texted. I think it was Darryl Clark or Tyson Hogan. I was at a wedding, and You know, when you go, I had a tux on Saturday. I mean, the whole bit down in Philly, all Eagle fans.
Yuck.
My friend's daughter married it, but they're from Philly. And again, we've talked about this. Philly fans, if you're from Philly and you're an Eagle fan, like it's okay. It's like, and
Makes sense.
it's like that's what like we're Cowboy fans. You're from half hour from Giant Stadium.
That's the more like, all right, if you're in New Jersey and you're a Cowboys fan like myself, makes sense. You have relatives, fathers, uncles.
Right.
That makes all sense. But if you're in Philly and you're a Cowboys fan, I feel like, and they're out there because I've interacted with
Cowboy
them.
fans are all over.
Cowboy fans in Philadelphia, that's got to be fucking brutal.
Well, I always found that like Philly, same thing with Cub fans. Like it's pure. Like nobody roots for the Cubs unless you're from Chicago, and
Fair.
I feel like nobody roots for the Eagles unless you live within an hour of.
Yeah, no, they're scumbags.
Where the Cowboys are.
Unless you live in Philly, you're a Philadelphia scumbag. But outside of that, no.
No, and but it was a beautiful wedding. Shout out to Steve and Catherine. But you know what? Since I didn't know all that many people there except my buddy Dave, the father, I felt like an aging LeBron. I was like, so I'm looking around, and all these girls are dressed in pretty dresses. All of a sudden, I think I texted Tyson and Darryl said, "Oh, it's LSU here. I'm getting spun around a little bit," and then I realized like. These people are 27 years old. I'm 60 years old, but everyone's wearing these hot dresses, bouncing around. And I also didn't dance, which my neck was killing me. I couldn't, but like, there's nobody who wants to see a 60-year-old dance at a wedding.
Not sure if I want to see that when you're healthy.
Ever. Well, back in the day, I go out there and I would cut the rug a little bit. But
how did I know if I had money on DraftKings that you were going to say back in the day I cut a rug?
Yeah.
I literally saw that coming.
But this time I just looked like Burgess Meredith and Rocky. I wanted to walk in with two turtles. That joke is funny to 7 people. Also, with the beer league, we talked about it last week because it was after the shoot. I don't know if I should say we're contemplating a name change.
Yeah.
For beer league, I'm not going to say it. We shouldn't say it. We're contemplating a little bit of a name change, and whether or not beer league will be in the title should we say what the? No, we shouldn't because we didn't launch it.
I just a personal opinion. I think beer league needs to be in the title. That's just
right.
to tie it in. But like, because if you just call it one of the ideas that you've had,
it will not.
Nobody's going to know the backstory of anything.
It will not be called Beer League the series because that's already up on IMDb. We're definitely going to change that. But I've had some great conversations with David Sonkin, one of the producers at Watch213.tv. And we got some interesting stuff going on. It's really exciting. I may end up down at if we can get a sizzle reel done, he's going to be at a film festival down in North Carolina in October. I might be able to scoot down there if I can and, show my face around at one of these film festivals. I haven't been to one in a while. I think it's about time I get my face out there. If you need a best
supporting actor to go, just let me know.
I know, but you want to drive down with me, please?
Fuck that. You in a car for 11 hours? No.
You know what? Depends on what the Cowboys' record is. Cowboys are 0-3. I'll be more miserable than you are. But anyway, that's fun. We're having fun with this beer league thing. I'm really excited about it, and we're hoping that it's done by October 1st, which it has to be. Tom, if you're listening, Tom, this thing has to get done now. Let's go. People are fired up. I'm fired up.
I had one of the extras
asking Phil Simms jersey.
Extra Jimmy Whalen wants to know if there's going to be another premiere night, and I was like, I don't know, man. It's streaming on a service. So I don't know.
Well, I got to ask him that. That's interesting. You know what? Probably not.
Or, if it goes right up on if it goes right up on a streaming service, then what's the point? Because.
What are we talking? 30 people in town.
That's what I'm saying. Like last one we did, I think 50 people showed up. Which was
that's completely up to David Sonkin. Completely up to him. If he wants to do that, we'll do it. He's a really cool guy. We've been talking a lot about different shit. Which, of course, if you can't see shit, you got to go to Absolute Eyewear. Getting involved. 42 Main Street, Woodbridge, New Jersey, 732-326.
Ooh, eyes. Sorry, I wasn't looking.
No, it's not eyes. It's just eyes.
Just eyes. Just eyes.
Testing, Dave. As soon as you hear me speed up the number, it's coming. 732-326-3937. Craig and J. Bird Mashad. They're optometrists. Opticians here at Shea. They got everything there. Charles Oakley shoots free throws in the backyard. They got prescription glasses, everything, discounts. Mention Dave Sturcho, Jimmy Palumbo Show. Anything, you'll get some kind of discount, I promise you. Plus, they do good work. They got all kinds of things over there. So they are sponsoring this year, Absolute Eyewear, the NFL Stinks list. I thought it would be cool because next week we'll have a new one. I thought it would be cool to go through how we finished last year, not including playoffs, because I'm not doing that like draft thing. I'm just going to go at who stunk. So we'll just go real quick. AFC East, Buffalo Bills, very good. Dolphins, Jets, and the Patriots stink. Baltimore Ravens, very good. Steelers, average. Bengals, average. Browns, stink. AFC South, Texans, average. Colts, Jaguars, Titans, stink. Chiefs, very good. Chargers, good. Broncos, good. And the Raiders stink. That ended up being one of the better divisions. And, of course, the Philadelphia Eagles, very good. The Commanders, good. Cowboys and Giants stink. Now, the NFC North, which is going to be done this year by Tyson Hogan, is going to be doing. He got the privilege of being a super fan of doing the NFC North. And, Tyson, this is for you. The Lions were very good. The Vikings were very good. The Packers were good. And the Bears stink. Now, Darryl Clark is going to do the NFC South.
Oh, he's going to be biased. How are you going to give him a fucking South?
You're not biased with the Cowboys. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, good. Falcons, Panthers, and your beloved Saints stink until further notice. NFC West, Rams, average. Seahawks, average. Cardinals and 49ers stink. So I had, to end the season, I had 16 stinks, 5 average, 5 goods, and 6 very goods. So next week, we will be sponsored by Absolute Eyewear. And of course, the NFL starts with Cowboys, Eagles. Now, let me ask you this. I'm not going to ask you who you think is going to win, because I know you want the Cowboys to win. Is there any team, since you're like a crazy diehard Cowboy fan, do you think, what's your sleeper team in the NFL this year? Like, what team do you think is going to make some noise? By that, I mean, with 2 weeks to play, they will be in the playoff hunt. And maybe they're not that good last year.
Probably. See, I love Atlanta this year. I love Atlanta this year. I love Tampa to make some noise. That division in itself is going to be tough. The AFC, I would probably say, watch out for the Bengals, just because if they just get good on defense, they win fucking 13 games last year. But they had such a bad defense that they just couldn't. They get their boy for an extension. I would say the Bengals, to watch out for the Bengals, and probably that's really it. I mean, like, everybody else is, the Bears will be a little better this year,
right?
The Cowboys are a crapshoot right now. Who knows? The Giants will probably be a little bit better than what people think.
I'll be shocked if, I don't know about record. I'll be shocked if the Giants aren't better. And I'm talking about the couch test. Me sitting there with a beer.
Last year was Daniel Jones and that debacle. This year you have a Super Bowl winning quarterback at the helm, right? I mean, Tyrone Tracy is going to run the ball really well. What's this guy? The receiver is probably, he's elite. Like, he's that good, and he's going to change some games.
Maybe Abdul Carter can do.
Abdul Carter is going to be good. The defense is going to be better. Look, when you get to play in the NFC East, it's a crapshoot, right? So you never know who's what. Maybe this will be the year that the Giants could probably pick off the Eagles, maybe in New York. I don't know.
How do you think the Cowboys are going to do?
Even like before and after Micah trade, like I think that the Cowboys could easily get to 9 wins. Their over under in Vegas is 7.5. So I would take the over on the wins. I think their offense is going to be really, really good. They added George Pickens. Dak's back. He's not hurt. He's healthy. Their defense, look, they added a defensive tackle in that trade to try to stuff the run. They have their deepest position before Micah's trade, and still is their edge rushers. They have a lot of them. So, like, I think they're, is Micah probably better than all? Yeah, probably. But collectively, like, stockpile, I want to say 10 wins. 10 wins, and that might be pushing it.
I think, this is my prediction. I think the Giants are going to be better. I know it's an easy statement, but I think they're going to be fun to watch a little bit, much more than they've been the last 5 years. I also think you're going to start to see what do you call it? Clinks in the armor, the cracks in the wall. I really think this whole Eagles Chiefs thing, this cannot go on. I think you're going to see the Eagles and Chiefs. When I say struggle, I don't think they're going to be like running the table on anything. I think this is going to be the year. It's tough to come when you win a Super Bowl. The next year is always odd, and it's got to affect the Eagles eventually.
They lost a lot of players. They lost a lot of experience on defense. Right, they added a lot of youth on defense. So there could be some times where it just feels like you're going to see them like there's not a lot of experience over there. You know what I mean? Like, right. So the Eagles, I think the Eagles will probably be the first team in the NFC East to run it back and win back-to-back titles of the NFC East titles since 2002. I believe McNabb was the quarterback. That's the last time that an NFC East team won back-to-back division title, which is wild. I think the Redskins fall back to earth a little bit. Commanders, whatever. But I think
the Giants are going to beat the Commanders on Sunday. I don't know why.
Where's that game? Washington?
Yeah. Giants open up at Washington, at Dallas, and the home Chiefs. That's got to be the hardest 3 games of any team, right?
Well, it depends how people are ranking Dallas because I mean, and Washington.
It's a way
the fact you get the Chiefs 3 weeks into their campaign, that stinks. Like I would rather play the hardest team on my schedule first.
Me too.
You know, so that's why I think Dallas has a fighting chance on Thursday, to be honest with you.
I think the Giants have a chance to be competitive against the Chiefs. You play the Chiefs November 10th and Andy Reid.
Well, we're playing them on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough because usually Andy Reid, I think, is the best coach in the league. He goes, okay, here's what we got. Here's where we suck. I got to do this, and we win. Speaking of the Cowboys, I'm on the halfway through the last episode of the You Are Right about the Cowboy series on Netflix. It definitely got better. I think right around episode 3, it started to kick in for sure. What I really was blown away by, and the one thing is I can't believe how much Troy Aikman on the sidelines. I guess it was before the days of YouTube and iPhones. I couldn't believe the footage, man. In fact, someone had to okay that footage because Troy Aikman is on the sidelines cursing out individuals. He's cursing out the coach, like almost where he could hear him live. And he was cursing out in a way that I think the guy on the couch, if I was a Cowboy, that's me, saying like, what are you guys doing? And there's no responsibility. Coaches aren't saying anything. Like, and then I thought Troy Aikman
we got a coach that's patting everybody on the ass, he said.
Right. And I thought Troy Aikman was the most honest.
Always is.
I thought Troy Aikman was, listen, and then when, of course, Irvin got in trouble, a lot of trouble. And to this day, that one prosecutor's like, what? He's like, he said something very funny. He was like, we had him. It was over. All you have to do is go to trial. We win. And they plea bargain, which I guess you wonder, power of the NFL. I don't know, man. But Troy Aikman, I give him credit for showing up at the trial because Irvin at that point was nobody. You got to remember, a lot of shit's happening in the last 30 years. Now, if it happens, it's like almost a positive. Oh, one of our guys is in trial. That's cool. But I thought I thought Troy Aikman was his sideline yelling and screaming. It was just wild. And also the Barry Switzer thing, it's funny, a little bit like Bob Lemon in 78. Billy Martin got fired and Bob Lemon just came in and said, all right, hey, we got a pretty good lineup, so I'm going to post it and go out and play. And Switzer had a little bit of that.
Oh, Jimmy definitely built that team that he coached.
For sure. All you got to do is let it rip. And also, I love the honesty of Jimmy Johnson by saying, like, although, this loyalty thing, and listen, teams call up and say, hey, you want to coach us? And there's money involved. But all of a sudden, Jerry Jones just would have none of it. But when Jerry Jones had the whistle and he was on the field, like, oh man, and they asked Jimmy Johnson, do you think he knows a lot about football? There was a lot of honesty in it, which was cool. But those scenes with Jerry Jones behind the desk, I mean, and I thought I'm not enjoying the last episode because I think the bigger story is from 96 to now.
They cover it.
Yeah, but they're doing like a Reader's Digest version of, because I think there's a lot more material there. But it's unbelievable. The Cowboys literally, they won in 96, and that just injuries and this and that. And everybody got a little old, and Jimmy Johnson left, and Barry Switzer walked away or fired, whatever you want to call it. And the Cowboys really, if you ask me, haven't done shit. And yet they're a very popular team now, and the new stadium is awesome. And but now Jerry Jones looks like the fool. But we'll see.
I think this Micah Parsons trade is like the swan song for him. Like, you know, a lot of people gave Jimmy Johnson the credit for Herschel Walker's trade, so now he's going to be able to say like, "This was mine."
I got to be honest with you, he could be dead by the time this thing bends.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like they're not dead, but at least like, you know. It doesn't seem like he's losing any like he. Listen, no, he babbles like Joe Biden a lot, right? Like he babbles a lot, but like
point is, look,
I think he's got all his wits so far, right? So I don't know if he might see these 2 years through.
But the 2027 pick, especially if he's a quarterback, you know, it sometimes takes. We're looking at really 2029. That's 4 years from now, and he's an old man now. But you could tell how much the 49ers hated him. And another funny thing is I watched the show and I was like, hey, you know, somewhere in there, the Giants won the whole thing. That gets, you could tell the Cowboys like eliminate any Giant footage except for the game we won, which was one of the worst losses I ever experienced. But anyway, it's worth seeing. I think it's way better than the Jordan one. The Jordan one was such a fluff.
I mean, I have a bias, but yeah, I think it's better too.
Well, because Jordan one was a fluff piece. You never did Michael Jordan take a beating ever in the thing? Troy Aikman looked like a jerk at times. Jerry Jones always looks like a jerk, and then he made some good decisions. Even Barry Switzer as an old guy, I thought it was cool that Switzer was in his office, which was cool. And I thought Troy Aikman was calm and just like, you know, and the way he quit. I remember you forget it's 30 years ago, but I remember Aikman got. If anybody should have that CTE thing, you know.
Well, listen.
You were a young kid.
He's got 7 or 8 registered concussions or whatever, and he's got some of the greatest analysis when I'm watching a football. I'll forever say that my favorite team going right now is Joe Buck and Troy Aikman on Monday Night Football. That dude knows football, and he hasn't lost a damn thing.
And he doesn't sugarcoat anything. When they said Troy Aikman's going to be in the booth, I was like, you mean that? Because he didn't let out. He's boring, I thought, interviews. But yes, he's a very good announcer, as most quarterbacks are. Phil Simms was awesome, and Aikman's awesome. And listen, I think Tony Romo's good too. He's excitable. I think he's pretty good. Listen, because quarterbacks have to know every position.
That's why I think sometimes the quarterbacks would become the greatest defensive coordinators.
Yeah, it's really weird that way.
Because they know this shit. You know what I mean?
Agree. But it's worth it to see. Just for Troy Aikman yelling on the sidelines, I was shocked by that. What else are we going to do? Again, I think the Giants are going to win opening day. I don't know why I feel that way. Which brings us, if your carpets look like shit, it's time for Oxy Magic USA. I played that way. Oxy Magic USA, OXY Magic USA. Drying time is 1 to 2 hours. They clean your carpets. They're awesome. I scheduled one. He's probably going to be here either Wednesday or Thursday because my carpets are starting to look like Burgess Meredith as well. It's all Green Seal and EPA, Safer Choice certifications and all that crap.
Safe for your pets, too.
Safe for your pets, safe for your kids, and all that lovely stuff. Funny thing is, right now, when this show is not going to be all that long, or not long as usual. My sister came up because of my bad neck, and she's actually helping me clean my condo here. Mary, you there? Yeah. What are you doing?
I do have to give a shout out though to your daughter, who fantastic driver.
Like she's great.
Got her.
Hang on 1 second. My sister. She's wearing Jimmy Palumbo stuff, and she's.
Wow, I tell you what, look at all that cleaning supply day here at Shea. Look at that.
She's got cleaning supplies. And, although she said it wasn't as dirty as I said it was. She just came up because I haven't been able to move in 3 days. But Yes, my daughter is a really good driver for sure. She drove back and forth. She's good on night drive. I've been letting her drive, so it's critical that we do that. Hang on one second.
Your over exaggeration of the every bump she hits, and you're all over the place.
Oh, right. I was like, ooh,
oh, and now forever. I actually got a new tattoo. It's on the back of my neck. It just says, "Just drive the whore."
Oh yeah, which that's what I can't. I would tell the whole story, but it's still funny to me. It's a phrase that my buddy's dad used when he was learning how to drive. Just drive the whore. Something. Maybe we'll tell the story next week. It still makes me laugh. I gotta have my cousin Joey on the show, one of my Patreon members. What I was gonna say. You know what? That since my shoulder is killing me and I'm aging here as we go through. So next week we got Tyson Hogan and Dow Clark doing NFL Stinks List. Will be all NFL material next Tuesday at 1. And that's it. We may even have a new Beer League, the series name. And I'll have a clean apartment condo because my sister's breaking her ass while I'm doing this show. All right, everybody. It's a perfect, happy, what is it? Tacky perfect day here, Shay. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week.